Hey everyone, Angelo here, Hollywood filmmaker with a crappy haircut. It's growing a little too long and it's like, I don't know, just looking sloppy. I've been writing a lot. I'm a screenwriter. It's amazing to just work on that. I know it sounds silly, like who cares? I don't have anything published. Screenwriters get stuff produced, not published. You don't publish a screenplay and release it in a bookstore. But still writing a lot. My class ended with Corey Mandel. It was a great class. If you're a screenwriter, I never recommend stuff just like just do it. I say, yeah, look at it. If you like it, if you like the idea, I certainly did. For years, I would think about Corey Mandel's videos where he talked about script testing and why that's so crucial for writers and how you need to test your scripts to make sure other people get the experience you want when you read them before you even find out, do they like it, do they have suggestions, um, did stuff resonate with them. You want to know, like, did you even get across the idea you had in your head, or were you missing stuff like you needed to get across, like certain pieces of context for the story or characters, whatever. Anyways, so it was a wild ride to class because it went very quickly, even though I guess it was 8 weeks. I'm trying to think, but um, trying to cram in as much writing as I could every day while, still dicking around on the internet, like switching between YouTube and stuff, but getting better at that. And now I'm still practicing every day, and it's just like, it's weird. I don't want to give a testimonial in a way because I feel like you don't do that unless you have success. And yes, I have my personal success, which is I write a lot. I feel I'm learning a lot. It's changing how I look at writing and how I approach like problem solving, writing screenplays. But what the fuck? What was that? It was like a big piece of dust just flew over here. But I'm not a produced screenwriter, so it's like, how much can you take what I'm saying? Well, just take it for what it's worth, which isn't much, but it was a good class, and I'm trying to start sort of a writers group online where we can test scripts with each other and practice stuff. And the thing is, I kind of dreaded it because I'm like, oh man, why am I going to talk about this? Why am I going to approach people about this? I hate doing this because I don't want to work with people who aren't dedicated, who aren't as dedicated as I am, who flake out, who don't try, or who just want to hear praise for their work. People who, like, they don't even care what screenwriting is or know what it is. And I can't really judge because I've been all those things, every one of them at some point, which is why I didn't learn at all and why I didn't progress. In the last few years, I've been really pushing myself. And I noticed I have been learning, but it's been so slow and progressive. Like, one year to the next, I can look back at stuff I wrote that I thought was pretty good and be like, oh, wow, this is seriously lacking in, like, energy and excitement. Not by Hollywood standards or anything, which it did lack by Hollywood standards, but by my own, which had grown now. So I actually reached out to people and wanted to see from like strangers, like who's interested in doing this, where we test with each other specific tests for our screenplays, and we're not trying to just say, hey, do you like this or not? Because I don't think you really learn much. You learn a little bit from that for each screenplay, but it's really hard to know what you're not doing right or what you're missing out on. And what you're not doing right is not writing pages that just grab people and make them think about what you write for days after they read it. And I've read, a few dozen scripts now, like 75, and a great one will do that to me, where it's like, I can't believe, even if it's for a movie I've seen. Most of the scripts I read are for movies I've seen and love. A few I haven't seen. I read the script for Get Out. Man, I read that, I was like going like, son of a bitch, like I can't believe this. The writing was so good and scary. What else did I read that I haven't seen that I thought was so good, where I was like, oh my goodness? Well, I did feel that with Gone Girl script, but I have seen that movie. But I don't know, most of the ones I've read I have seen. Anyways, so yeah, I was kind of I'm like, and then before making this video, I'm like, why am I doing this? This is the stupidest thing I can do, because I'm just gonna get a bunch of people who are like not committed and don't want to do it and are just gonna make me miserable and pressure me to just like say, well, you don't like my stuff because you don't get it or whatever, when it's not about that. It's about testing for specific things that you should be able to get across in a few pages. And anyways, but then I thought, well, it seems stupid, that's why I should do it, because I've got this block where I'm trying to control things too much, and maybe it will not work out. I don't think that'll be the case. Whatever the case, it'll work somehow. I'll learn something. And meanwhile, I'm just writing a lot, and I'm practicing all different ways. I'm writing in notebooks, hence these. I'm just practicing like free writing, basically. Alex Proyas has called it dream like associative writing, and Corey Mandel's talked about this in his Film Courage interview. And Alex Proyas, I can't believe I never linked the two, where they both talk about this, and I didn't try it for years. Alex Proyas talked about it 2 years ago, and I had this block where I wasn't willing to try it. Now, I don't blame myself because I didn't know. I thought, well, maybe Alex can do that, but I can't. Alex Proyas put a YouTube video out talking about how he writes like this sometimes, and he wrote the first draft of Dark City like this, where you just write straight through. You don't look back at anything you wrote. You don't even correct for spelling. I'm telling you, that was hard. Oh man, that was hard. I did it by instinct the first like day or so. It kind of hurt my brain to misspell stuff. After that, it got much easier to almost, it got weird to go back and correct stuff when I was doing different types of writing. But it's just where you just write, and some of your best ideas come from that. Sometimes it depends, but the thing is, while you're writing that, you're not supposed to be judging it. If you judge it, that's when you'll stop, and that's when you'll limit what you write, and you're not helping yourself. And I would have to do that sometimes, just like write whatever, write garbage, write the worst thing I can think of. And I didn't want to do that before because I thought, well, I'm not going to learn from that. I have to build a story and outline it and construct it, which I learn a lot from. But there's too much. I realized I probably had too much perfectionism in that, and I didn't know. I don't know, somehow I thought if I did the dream writing type style, Alex Proyas and Corey Mandel have talked about it. They both call it different things, but Alex Proyas calls it like dream writing. Corey Mandel calls it intuitive writing. They literally describe it almost the same way. And Alex Proyas, if you don't know, is one of my favorite filmmakers. Dark City is one of my favorite movies. Made me want to be a filmmaker. I saw it, I was just stunned. I could not believe how good it was. And how it seemed like the purest definition of movie. Like, this is what a movie is. The audience doesn't know anything when the movie starts, and the main character doesn't know anything when the movie starts. And as we're trying to figure out the story, he's trying to figure out the story. I just thought it was amazing. And what the visuals tell you about the story, the different decades of, like, you know, designs for buildings, clothes, cars, streets, like, anyways, how it all informs the story. It's not just there to be weirdo stuff or look cool. Anyways, I always thought, well, I'm not going to learn from that because I'm just going to write mush, like formless, structureless mush. It does help that I've read a decent amount of screenplays, by no means a ton. I want to read at least 250. I need more time, man. Sleep, my job, it's brutal not getting enough sleep. And I'm not getting enough sleep as it is now, but I'm still trying to push through the day and just make myself get up. Today I did sleep in an hour until like 5 o'clock in the morning. Normally I get up at like 3:45. I sleep until like 4:15 normally. But so I've reached out to people. If you're interested in being part of this writing group and you're serious, you're dedicated, and you want to practice stuff that's not necessarily fun, it doesn't feel exciting. For me, it's exciting, but it's also just serious work, because it means I'm not writing to impress people. I'm writing specifically to practice certain skills, like developing certain scenarios, getting across certain information that a ton of screenwriters have problems with. And yet, I believe, as Corey Mandel does, and he's had the experience to see this among his students, I have not, but I believe, you know, it's resonated enough what Corey Mandel said over the years on his interviews online. Now that I've seen it in the class, and I've wondered, like, well, what does he teach? What does he do? I'm like, I can see why pretty much any mediocre writer or anybody who writes with the same problems anyone else does can become a great writer by doing these exercises. Doesn't mean they all will, but I think if you're dedicated enough, it's actually fairly simple. And that's why being homeless, like, helped set me up for this, because I had to, like, get rid of my preconceived notions of, like, what I'm willing to do throughout the day to stay clean, to go to the bathroom, to eat, to survive. Like, I had to just be like, well, I'm just doing this. I'm going through it. To file bankruptcy, to do all the paperwork while overheating in my car, to, work a job at the warehouse even when, I was homeless, and not telling anyone I was homeless and all that. Just do my job. But anyways, so that's all good. And now I'm just pushing myself to write more. So if you're interested in that group, let me know. Message me on social media or email me. If my email's not, I think my email's on the About page, but it's my YouTube channel name with am@gmail.com. Let me know. I'll include you in the group, and you can do writing assignments with us. But please be serious about it, because it's just not going to work if you don't do it. It's like going to a personal trainer at the gym and saying, oh man, this is hard, I'm not lifting these weights much. Oh, that's it, like, I've been here 30 minutes. Well, you can get a great workout in 30 minutes, or you can struggle to get anything done, and then like you not really apply yourself, and then you'll wonder, well, what was the point of that? And it's like, you'll have proved to yourself that it doesn't work. You'll talk yourself into it and say, well, Hollywood doesn't know what they want, nobody knows what they want. It's like, well, why are you so angry? Why do you need to say so much? I was the same way. Again, I can say this because I was the worst in all these ways too. Didn't want to learn, didn't want to hear anything, and I didn't learn anything as a result. But I was always, trying to push myself a little bit further, and very gradually, almost like a snail crawling along. It's like, I started learning things like, oh, I need to learn this. So anyways, I gotta sleep. It's already past, it's like 8:15 at night. It's past my bedtime. I get up at like 4 in the morning. And yeah, keep watching, like the videos and all that. Let me know if you're interested. It's screenwriters out there. Also, this was bizarre. I was talking to my mom. Somehow I just got to talking about how I thought Ireland was interesting. I'm like, they speak the same language as us, but it's like they're, so different. And we're so different. And it's just like different histories and all that. And she said, oh, Ireland's the size of Texas, isn't it? I looked up the square mileage of Texas and Ireland. I said, okay, Mom, Texas has, and I remember this, it was like 268,890 some square miles, or 268,800 some square miles. Ireland has about 32,000 square miles. So that's like almost 10 times bigger than Ireland. Like, what the hell was she, why did she think that? And she was laughing when I told her that. And now I've been telling her every day, but please remember, Ireland is not the size of Texas. What the fuck? Why would she think that? But that's just how she thinks. She just blurts it out. And I said, you're wrong. Never say that again. What the fuck? I just tried to say I was just interested in, Ireland, and say I'd love to watch Irish movies. And anyways. Okay, everybody. I gotta go. Let me know if you're interested in the writers group, if you're serious and dedicated. I'm serious about it. I wrote while I was homeless almost every day, except for a while when I relapsed with my dissociative disorder. I'm still writing a ton, writing on my computer. Oh, and the software I use to write, it's called Trelby, like the hat, but not Trilby, Trelby, Trelby. Doesn't ask you to pay for anything. There's no free trial. There's no sign up later. There's no limited use. It is completely free. And it's like, I love it. It's like almost like just like command prompt. Like, you don't even need to use the mouse much. You just use tab to go from, scene like setting, or character, or parenthetical below the character's name when they're talking, and you say, this character's talking to that person. And I think it's open source as well, and it may even be able to be used on Linux. Anyways, it's cool. Trelby, try it out. Because I know other ones, like, you have a limited, window when you can use it, or they ask you to sign up, or you can only use a certain amount of pages, or what. Anyways, so Trelby's great. I don't know why more people don't know about that. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching.